Hello everyone, my name is Akshatr Malhotra and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to explain the concept of Indian tax system. In today's time, it is very important to know the basic concept of tax. What are the different types of tax that are still going on in your country, and what are the different income that are taxable in nature? That is, what are the different incomes on which you have to pay the taxes? So let's start. Coming to the first topic of the video, that is the concept, that is what is tax? What is the basic concept of tax? So tax mainly refers to a financial burden or financial charge that the individual or a legal entity need to pay to the government or to the central authority. So we can say that, in other words, that tax is a kind of burden or a kind of financial charge that the individual need to give to the government. But the question arises that what is the use of the tax that we pay to the government, or what is the usage of the tax that is collected by the government? The tax that is collected by the government is generally used for the public interest only. The use of tax is generally under four main heads, that is planned expenditure, unplanned expenditure, developmental expenditure and non-developmental expenditure. Under these four heads only, the tax that is collected by the government is used. So we can say that the tax that we submit to the government pays those taxes in form of facilities to the citizens of the nation only. Now coming to the types of taxes. In India, there are two types, direct tax and indirect tax. Now, direct tax mainly refers to that type of tax which is imposed on a particular individual or a particular firm. In this, the tax burden cannot be shifted from one person to the another person. For example, मैं कहीं पे काम करता हूँ, मैं किसी फर्म में काम करता हूँ जहाँ पे मुझे सैलरी मिलती है पर मंथ. अब उस सैलरी के बेसिस पे मेरे ऊपर इनकम टैक्स लगेगा, मुझे उस सैलरी के बेसिस के ऊपर टैक्स देना पड़ेगा. अब जो टैक्स मैं गवर्नमेंट को दूंगा वो टैक्स सिर्फ मैं ही पे कर सकता हूँ. मैं अपना वो टैक्स का बर्डन किसी दूसरे आदमी पे या किसी दूसरे पर्सन पे शिफ्ट नहीं कर सकता हूँ. तो वो टैक्स जो इंडिविजुअल या कोई फर्म अपने इनकम से उसे खुद देना पड़ता है, उसको कहते हैं डायरेक्ट टैक्स. इन सब टैक्सेस में जो आपका टैक्स बर्डन होता है वो किसी और पे शिफ्ट नहीं हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इनकम टैक्स, wealth tax, corporate tax are few examples of the direct tax. Now coming to the second one, that is indirect tax. Indirect tax mainly refers to those taxes which is imposed on goods and services, and the tax is paid by the ultimate consumer. Here the tax need to be paid by the final consumer who is consuming or purchasing the product. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, मेरी कोई शॉप है, मेरी एक जनरल स्टोर है, मैं कहीं से गुड लाता हूँ और कंज्यूमर्स को बेचता हूँ. तो जब मैं गुड्स कहीं से लाता हूँ उस पर मैं टैक्स देता हूँगा. अब जब कंज्यूमर मुझसे वो गुड खरीदता है तो मैं वो टैक्स का बर्डन उस कंज्यूमर पे शिफ्ट कर देता हूँ. तो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स में द टैक्स बर्डन कैन बी ईजिली शिफ्टेड फ्रॉम वन पर्सन टू द अनदर पर्सन. Hence, in indirect tax, the tax burden is shifted and the tax is paid by the ultimate consumer who is consuming the good. For example, GST, that is goods and service tax, custom duty, excise duty are few examples of the indirect tax. In this chart, you can see the basic difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Here are 4 to 5 differences that are given with the examples so that you can get a clear point of view what is direct tax and what is indirect tax. Now coming to one of the most important part of the video, that is heads under the income tax. Now, what does it actually mean? It generally refers to what are the different incomes that are taxable in nature. मतलब वो कौन सी इनकम है जिस पर आपके ऊपर टैक्स इम्पोज होता है और उन इनकम पे आपको टैक्स देना पड़ता है. लेट्स स्टार्ट. द फर्स्ट इज सैलरी इनकम. नाउ if you are working in a firm or if you are working in any type of company or in any institute and you are getting a fixed amount of salary, that salary is taxable in nature. That is, on that salary you need to pay the taxes. Second, income from house property. Now what does this mean? For example, you are living in your house and you are living in the ground floor, and in the first floor you have a 2-room set with attached bathroom and etc. facilities, and you decided to give it on a rent. Now the amount or the income that you generated or that you are gaining in form of rent, that is also taxable in nature. That is, income from house property, whatever the income you are gaining from the house property, that is in form of rent, on that tax is imposed and on that you need to pay the taxes. Third, income from business and profession. For example, you are an individual working in a company, you have a property also, but at the same time you have a side business or you have a business also, or you have a profession. Now, any type of income that is generated or any type of revenue that is generated under such type of business or profession, that is also taxable in nature. On that also tax is imposed and you need to pay the taxes. Fourth, capital gains. Capital gains mainly refers to any type of gain of revenue that you obtain from the capital sources. It includes both your short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain. On both, you need to pay the taxes that is imposed on it. Hence, capital gain is also taxable in nature. Last one, other sources. Other sources of income generally include, like you have invested in some company in form of shares or debentures, the interest or the dividend that you receive, that is also taxable in nature. The interest and dividend that you received on the invested securities, on that also you need to pay the taxes. It also include your winning from any type of horse races or any other forms through which your income is earned and which is other source, that also is taxable in nature. So in this we have 5 main heads, that is salary income, income from house property, income from business and profession, capital gain and other sources. If you are earning or if the income is generated from all the 5 heads, or if any of the 5 heads or any 2, any 3, the tax is imposed and you need to pay the taxes. In the end, I just want to include two more concepts that is related to tax, that is tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax evasion and tax avoidance both are a way of avoiding or not paying the tax. But what is the difference between two? So, tax avoidance is a legal and ethical way of not paying the tax, whereas tax evasion is an illegal and unethical way of not paying the tax. In tax avoidance, you invest in various types of government schemes and government programs through which your tax burden is shifted, and on that you receive an interest, and on this you need not to face any type of penalty. But in case of tax evasion, you need to if you are hiding the income tax, or if you are not paying the tax which is illegal or unethical, in that situation you have to pay the penalty, which is very heavy. With this, I end my video. I hope you have understood the basic concept of tax that is followed in India, and if you have liked my video, so please share this video with your friends and family members. Subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.